morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Renew podcast, where we are teaching you to reclaim your life without losing your edge. And back with me this week, we have the one and only Mia Andre.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We had some fun last week. We're going to have a little bit more fun this week because we are talking about social media. So Mia is the second oldest of the Andre girls.
The middle
one. Yes, the middle. And probably the most, I don't want to say the most outspoken, but
definitely not. I think Bailey's more outspoken.
Yeah, I think my oldest is the most outspoken, but she's kind of level head, and she brings some opinions, but she doesn't hold back in the opinion. So I asked her to talk. It never holds back in the opinions. Ingrid can attest to that because of all the banter we have before we go on air. But I asked her to come and talk today about social media because this has been, it's a hot topic. It's always a hot topic. And, before we get into this, I've got to talk about Mia does, for her age, you're probably not as big on social as most kids your age. You post, but it tends to be very intentional.
Yeah. I don't post every day, just pictures of me on a field,
Yeah, you're not doing the selfies a lot. You're not
No.
doing, but they all are intentional around your passions and your hobbies.
Yes.
One of which is screenwriting,
Mm-hmm.
late night script writing, and you have a new show that is soon to be launching. That let's tell everybody. So the sponsor of our Renew podcast today is
Laugh Riot Power Hour.
So tell us about Laugh Riot Power Hour.
So Laugh Riot Power Hour, it's a sketch comedy show, late night. So there's going to be interviews and stuff. It's made up of live sketches, interviews, pre-taped sketches, bands, the whole SNL Tonight Show whole vibe. And it's going to take place on December 18th of 2021. And it's going to be at 8, I assume. Haven't gotten that.
It's not really late night. It's
going to last.
Oh, that's true. It's a long show.
It's a long show. It's a full-length sketch comedy show. And so I'm very excited about it. It's in the works. And we're already filming stuff and writing everything, and it's going to be insane. You guys are going to love it. It's probably going to be streamed on YouTube. And I'm going to do a bunch of promos and stuff before then. But you guys are the first people to hear.
She just went public with her goals. Mama's so proud.
Yeah.
With the date and everything.
Yep. December 18th. You guys mark your calendars. Laugh Riot Power Hour. First installment. It's going to be insane. There's so much work and people and everything's going into it, and it's going to be the most wild thing ever.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
So that's exciting.
So that's the sponsor for today's show.
Yes.
And since it's going to be shown on social media, because the YouTubes are social media.
And
we'll have some clips. I mean, because I for sure will be posting clips on other
sure.
platforms too.
Yeah.
But, that's what I use social media for is sharing stuff about my business, the work I do. And I do think you do that to an extent too. You're this is kind of work and will be career for you. So that tends to be what I like social media for. I do like it to keep up with people, to, see my old friends, see what everybody's up to. But it's taken a turn in a lot of cases. We talked about The Social Dilemma on here before, the movie, and the algorithms and how they all work. I only follow positive people. I'll block you in a heartbeat if you start getting all negative or crazy on there. But social media has kind of gotten to the point where it allows people just to be mean. I mean, they're just assholes to people on there. So you can be brutal online, and that's the part I want to start there because, I mean, seriously, what's up with that? What the hell? What's up with that? To quote your SNL. I mean, why? Is that how most people do you see that, or is it just?
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's all of because there are good people that are trying to spread kindness or good vibes or whatever. But there are some duds, but the overall scope of social media is kind of all over the place.
What do you think because you've really never known a time without social media in your formative years, your middle school, high school years, social media has always been around.
Yeah.
So when it first, I mean, you grew up with it. Your younger sister for sure grew up with it. It's always been around since she's been there. Not as much with Bailey. It wasn't around at all until I was an adult. So I think, the adults were coming in and we're having this platform to say things that we never had before. And I think for a lot of people, they've taken it too far. But your age, like you guys can have reach and talk to people and meet people and engage.
Yeah, the biggest part about social media, that's kind of like the factor that draws everybody in, is the network and you're able to connect with people from like any walk of life.
Yep.
Pretty much. And that part of social media is good. The connection is good.
Mm-hmm.
But some people can take it too far and it just gets out of hand.
Where do you see it getting out of hand? Like, in your opinion? What's the worst part of social media?
The worst part of social media? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, obviously the photos are like insane of like some people, because they just like take them like too like all contoury, you know what I mean? Like, not the words themselves, the content.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Kardashian or something.
Yes.
Nothing against Kardashians. I mean, I'm not a giant fan of them, but I'm like, that was just an example. Like, other people are trying to like look like them.
So it kind of creates
it's a false
yeah
reality. That's the biggest thing about social media for me. It's not necessarily the words that are being said, it's the content itself.
So but it does create, like, people are following people that they a lot of times want to emulate.
Yes, and social media is like the carrier of that, because then people try to like change to be like them.
Yeah.
And it leads to other issues.
Well, and I've always said, people are comparing their, everyday life to someone else's highlight reel. And,
yeah.
With the Kardashians, you use that. I'm the same thing. I don't watch their show. I have tremendous amount of respect for the businesses they've built. But the social media, I don't follow or watch them on social. But from what I've seen, they're beautiful. They've amassed a lot of wealth. They have very successful businesses, but we don't always get to see what it took to get there or what it didn't take to get there. And, the workout pictures and all that. Like, I saw a meme that we'll see people that, like, they post this. I'm like, well, they have personal chefs and personal trainers and this and that. It's not fair to compare ourselves to that. And I caught myself the other day because, I'll follow some fitness people and I'll try to, like, I wish I looked like that and all that type of stuff. And I saw a meme the other day and it said something about, like, I've had it with the fitness trainers who are 20, call me back when you're 30. And I'm sitting there going, shit, call me back when you're 50. We'll watch people and they'll post pictures and we want to be like them.
Yeah.
But it's not, I can't compare myself to a 25-year-old fitness person, fitness influencer.
That's like, it's the comparison between like your life and their life. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing about social media. It's like the comparison between the two. Or like you're trying to copy your profile, like their profile onto your profile.
Yep.
That kind of thing. You're just like taking on another persona. That.
You mean when people are stealing profiles, or you're just trying to be like that?
Like the look of their thing, like their brand.
Well, yeah, they're trying. And that's what people with social media. We have a social media presence. All of us have.
Yes.
If anybody that's decided to participate in social media, they have a social media presence. Mine is highly curated. I'll be the first one to admit that. I don't post crappy pictures. People are like, you always take great pictures. No, I don't. I just only post great pictures. I don't post the crappy. You see my crappy pictures. They're bad. I'm not posting that. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that.
No, because I put a filter on. You know that because Mia hates it. But I also don't post all the terrible things that happen in my life. I don't post all the fights I get in with my children. And, yeah, you don't want me posting those. It'd be some entertainment.
No, you don't want you to post these.
I don't want me to post these.
I would be fine with you posting.
I don't want me to post these. But it's like there's certain things for me I share with my friends that I don't share online. But that's a conscious choice with me. I also don't pick fights with people on social media. And I feel like some people just like to argue. They think it's okay to be... and Jason said this in our comments last week. He said that we almost get desensitized when we're online because you just see the back and forth and the banter and the meanness of everybody. that it almost desensitizes us and makes us start to think that's okay.
Yeah, it is pretty entertaining though, in some cases.
What, the fights?
The comment section of posts, please. Like, I can scroll through those for hours. They suck, like, if you think about it, but, like,
Yeah.
pretty entertaining.
I mean, it's true. It's, yeah, I mean, it is entertaining, but then we've got to think about, like, oh, you've got a thought. There's a thought. A finger went up.
It lacks substance. Social media.
That's a good point.
It
That's a very
lacks
good
substance in some cases, obviously.
So, and I think that's why it can be a mindless scroll and things like that, because
Yes.
we don't have to think about, there's no substance to it. So, and that's okay, because I feel like to an extent we all need an escape occasionally just to be able to mindlessly look at stuff. But it's when we go down the rabbit hole and we use that lack of substance to define what our life's supposed to be like.
Yeah. It's a trade-off.
It is a trade. I mean, what do you think, like, for your age, especially so high schoolers? I'm curious on this. How much time are they spending on social media? Because I feel like adults,
lot
I
of
feel like
time.
adults spend
Mostly
a lot.
since TikTok came about. It's like all the time on social media.
But TikTok, all right, and Snapchat. Would Snapchat be considered social, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because all right, so let's talk on TikTok for a minute, then we'll get to Snapchat because you know how I'm with Snapchat. All right, so TikTok is very popular, and I
Yeah.
have some friends. My friend Quavi, who's been on the show before, she has amassed a really good following on TikTok, and her entire market is over 50 women. I'm not active on TikTok because I know it kind of started as the silly dance thing, but now it seems to have evolved a lot further. And I know Instagram Reels are starting to they added Reels to kind of be like TikTok. So all the platforms are trying to keep up with each other. I look at social media from what's my business purpose behind it. That's the first reason I personally am on it. So I'm not involved in TikTok, but what are
Yeah.
kids doing on TikTok? Like,
Well, there's different TikTok like things. You can be on the dance side of TikTok, or you can be on the like short, just like normal videos. Like there's different
yeah,
parts
yeah,
of TikTok, so it curates it to
what
like,
you watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you like. And
You've
stuff.
seen me dance. I'm probably not going to be on the
I don't-
dance side
I would
of
hope
TikTok.
not. But
I mean, it's something to behold.
no, it's something that they aren't ready for, and I think that would be the issue.
My audience is not
Is
ready to
the
see me
audience,
dance.
The audience is just not ready for what you have to bring to the platform.
I think you're probably correct there. And now if they come up with a singing one, they also will not be ready for that.
The singing one, like I guess we need to get you like a new mic or something because you're gonna take over that side.
Darn I though.
Yeah.
But it's all right, but why are people on it? Like is it just mindless? Is it
No, not at all. TikTok, I did not like TikTok originally. I
Yes.
deleted TikTok and I thought it was stupid. But
and your
it
dance
it
skills are
evolved.
marginally better than mine.
Yeah, it evolved.
Okay.
And I think because once again the connection.
Yep.
I think a lot of TikTok their whole goal is to give out good messages and stuff because
Okay.
they know that social media is not really like that anymore.
So is TikTok more positive than other platforms? In your opinion?
In my opinion, sometimes I
Okay.
can't. The videos can be positive, but then you have to take into account the comments,
Okay.
and those sometimes aren't.
Okay. Got it. Fair.
But the messages on some of the videos are pretty positive,
okay.
and I think TikTok's evolved, which is good.
Why do the kids like it so much?
Oh, I don't know. Like there's something they do that just like they change the algorithm or something to appeal to what you want to see, and then you guys just get trapped scrolling for like hours.
Well, and it's visual because it's videos.
Yeah, it's
So
visual.
it's not like you're not having to stop and read. You can kind of stop
Yes.
and watch videos.
yeah.
So is that
And
the
there's a lot
platform
going
now where
on.
the kids are? There's a lot.
So
going
it's
on.
occupying your like brain.
So do you use social media personally as an escape or to gather information?
Both. I would think gathering information helps because it helps you stay connected, just
Okay.
like news and stuff.
So it helps you kind of know what other people are doing and what's trendy.
like what's going on.
Well, it does the trends. That's
The
a
trends,
big thing too.
yeah. But also, it can like depending on who you follow,
Yeah.
you curate your social media presence, like who you're following, based on like who you like or something. Because like all the people I follow, you would scroll through and it's just a bunch of like comedians and musicians and stuff. So that makes like me happy. So that's an escape right there.
Okay. All right, and you're learning something too.
Oh yeah.
So what? All right. So it really is going to be, because again, I'm not active on TikTok, and I know it. I have it. I just don't use it very often. But I know brands are starting to go there a lot too. But it seems like the people are following are not the big companies. They're the kind of TikTok stars.
Yeah. The good thing about TikTok is the people that wouldn't originally be like have a big following can get a big following.
Yes.
So there's like, there's a bunch of people. I follow a bunch of van life people, obviously.
Yep.
And like those people wouldn't originally be.
Yes, because not everybody's following people that live in a van.
Yeah, but once, like, if you have one video and you get if you get a big following, a lot of likes on this video, and get a bunch of followers, then you have a platform to do whatever you want with.
Okay.
So it's the people that wouldn't originally have that platform get a platform, which I think is cool.
Do you think that's better more than in some of the other platforms like a YouTube or
Yeah.
Facebook or Insta?
Well, in Facebook, I don't even wrap Facebook into this.
Yeah.
Facebook, you don't like have a viral video.
Yes.
And then it like you get a bunch of followers.
Right.
You get a bunch of friends. Facebook is just like connecting with like
People you know.
from like high school or something.
Yeah. And you
But-
already see them every day anyway.
Yeah, but like Instagram stuff, you can still have viral stuff, but it's more like the people you like,
Okay.
you follow. TikTok is like you find that following.
Okay.
Twitter is the same way. You have one tweet that like a
Goes
bunch of people
viral.
like,
Yeah.
then you have a following.
So you're more likely to go viral on those.
Yeah.
Is that what the kids try to do that? Because I know I'll hear people like,
kids.
oh, this so-and-so's video got, 100,000
kids.
views or what have you.
Yeah, some kids. But that, because they just want, it's an attention thing. So that
Yeah.
it depends. Like, I wouldn't want that because I don't like attention. Like,
You
it
also
stresses
don't like
me out.
people.
Yeah, it stresses me out. But some people do like that.
Yeah.
So they that's what they try to go for.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's different because, always, not that I take everything you say with a grain of salt, but you are also, as far as teenagers go, not the social one. And,
Yeah.
You're way more introverted. You're fine on air because you're a performer. But I think, personally, you're like, I'm good in my own little bubble.
Yeah.
But so I think for the quiet people, it allows you to connect with people in a I don't want to say safer environment, but,
Yeah.
not out there as environment.
Yeah, that's good for introverts and like shy people when they want to like connect with more people, but they don't want to talk to them face to face. It's good
Yeah.
for that, but there is also a lot of like personal issues that could be like amplified.
Yes.
Like anxiety and
Yes.
stress stuff.
For sure.
Because
Oh,
like
for sure.
the different image that people give off.
Yeah.
Like expectation versus reality type deal.
And I think that's the big thing with all platforms on social media. Now talk to me about Snapchat. Because we've had a debate.
Snapchat, it's all
We've had
about
a
connection.
debate in our house about all social media because I don't let my youngest. I don't feel she's old enough to be on social media. It's a bone of contention in our house, and my children don't agree with me on that. But I made the rules because I think she's too young to be on social media. I think she's too young and too immature to be on social media. However,
Just call her out.
I know. Well, no, I think some kids are, and plus I think on most of the platforms you're supposed to be 14. So that's what I've been blaming. And I'm like, you're not 14 yet. It's breaking the law. Don't want to break the law, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. However, Snapchat just seems, I have it, don't use it, but Snapchat, what's the draw behind that?
It's just connection.
I get that, but y'all are like sending people pictures of like up your nose and stuff
I
like
don't.
that. I've seen you do these.
Well, I do. These.
Yeah. So like pictures, they just send pictures back and forth.
Yeah, it's connection. It's another way to talk.
So it's talking without words.
It's not only picture. Mom, have you?
I don't use
Ew.
it. I don't use it.
Ew. It's not. There's more than just pictures.
Explain
you talk.
the ew to me. What are you doing?
You're like, you think it's just like an eye picture. Sometimes
Yes.
it is, but that's how you like. You can text and stuff on Snapchat.
Good to know.
And there's stories and stuff, and like there's little mini documentary things that you can click through to learn about things. There's TikTok like stuff.
I don't know these things. I don't use the I don't use the
you can't
Snapchat.
you can't make accusations.
That's why I was asking. I was inquiring about the Snapchat because I don't use it personally.
But you said the whole deal is pictures. It's not.
I thought it was. I really thought that was the entire platform about you passing pictures
Okay.
back and forth.
So,
and I
for
know
those of you
there's-
at home, I'm going to show Mom this. So these are like little documentaries that you
Okay.
can click through, and it teaches you about things. And then there's a bunch of different ones all the way down here.
well,
then
I may
there's
have to check out the
also
Snapchat. I didn't realize
like
it had all that
TikTok on
stuff.
here.
Yeah, I literally thought Snapchat was sending.
And then you can talk to all your buddies.
That I knew because I'm connected to some. I do have it. I just don't use it. So that I knew. So my fear when Snapchat first came out, and the parents' understanding of Snapchat is your children are sending naked pictures back and forth to each other on
That's how it
Snapchat, and they're
started.
disappearing. And so, right. So I was adamantly opposed to Snapchat because I'm like, I don't want my kids sending naked pictures back and forth. I don't want people sending me naked pictures. But it's just like that's what I thought the entire platform. And shame on me for not knowing, but I don't. It's not a platform I use. That's why I asked. See, this is why we have you here, because you're in touch with the Utes. You're letting us know what the Utes think. No, she's still shaking her head at me. I'm going to my commitment for today. I'm going to get on. I'm going to have my Snap. I have a Snapchat account. I'll connect with a few people. I'll check it out. I'll report back.
your Snapchat, like on my phone, it just says Mom, and it has your Bitmoji, and it's just like,
Well,
you're like-
you'll have to show me how to add something to. I
No.
don't know how to do this.
No.
I'm going to persuade my daughter to do a 20-minute Snapchat tutorial today. But I think for me as an adult, I use social media, and I could be in the minority here. I use social media for business and to connect with my friends. That's what I tend to use it for. I don't use it to gain information. I don't use it to argue or debate with people just because I don't like I love to argue and debate with people.
yes, you
Love it.
do.
I do. I'm good at it too. I'm pretty good at debate. We're ranking in the household. I'm not the top debater in the house, but
I would
I'm
put you
I'm
third.
ranked. I'm second. I'm a solid second.
No. Bailey's in law school. She does this for like her whole life is
She
this.
hasn't gotten to that class. She's a second year. We got to wait till third year. So
Oh, please. Bailey is the top.
I'm at least
For
beating. I'm at least beating one or two people.
You're beating one. That's really good though.
I can be your dad.
Well, Dad's not in the house.
I know, but still, we're gonna count them because I don't want to be next to last. I want to be like next
Okay.
to last.
Okay, you can beat Dad
Thank you.
and the youngest.
Appreciate that. But I don't use social media I know people use social media maybe that's why y'all are debating better because you're getting all your information on social media. I don't know. I don't use it to gather information. I use it to promote my business, and I use it to connect with people. And I feel like that's what it's supposed to be about. But all the wackadoodles are out there making it something crazy and just being brutal to one another and
The
Just-
intention of social media was for it to connect people and to be good.
So recently they had the lady come and testify on, to the Senate about Facebook and all the stuff and all the things they're getting into and all the stuff they know about us and all. I mean, do you feel like it has too much of a control over us?
I don't, because they find out when you were born, whoop-de-doo. Like, that doesn't...
I know. I always worry about the information you're getting. You're
And,
like,
like,
they have it
I don't-
anyway. Yeah,
If they wanted it that bad, they would find it any other way.
that's true.
So I don't, I don't...
But is it?
It doesn't
getting-
bother me
Is
at
it
all.
getting out of hand with the divide it's creating, amongst the world and the country?
Elaborate
and-
on that. What do you mean divide?
Because people, they form opinions, and I always tell people you're not going to change somebody's opinion by a social media post. You can post whatever
Usually
you want
could.
on Facebook, but most of the time you're not. Most people the people that are paying attention to those have already made up their mind anyway. So I think it just creates arguments amongst people. Arguments. I said that.
Well-
I stuttered a little bit. Arguments amongst people.
I disagree, because social media is a platform. You use the platform to bring light to certain issues, though depending on what you're doing, that could easily change someone's
So is there a
view.
difference between bringing light to issues and bringing light to a person? So let's divide it up a little bit. I see what you're saying about educating somebody on a particular issue.
I think people too.
But but that's where you get into bullying and cyberbullying and,
No.
and people, really attacking people.
That's not what I mean. It's not like roasting a person online. That's not at all what I mean. That sucks. People shouldn't do that. But I'm saying, like, if you're in a educated argument, both you're not like trying to kill each other over social media. You're both posing issues, and like it's like a debate. It's just online.
But sometimes it's online with people you don't even know, and sometimes it gets nasty. I don't mind educated
Once it
debate.
gets nasty, then that's a no. But
Right.
like before it gets nasty,
But
feel
I
like it's
just see
not.
so many things escalate on social. I mean, I love social. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm on it and I'm very active on it. But on all things but TikTok and Snapchat apparently. And I'm active on it and I do love it. But I think I go to it for a certain purpose. I probably post and curate stuff for the businesses more than I do scroll. I scroll, but
scroll a lot.
Yeah, I probably do less gathering of information and more posting of information. I do look at like my friends and my clients to see what they've been posting and what's important to them and what's going on in their lives. So I use it for a client engagement and a business development or business promotion thing. So I'm very strategic in how I use it. Maybe it's the boring way to use it, but it keeps me out of fights and I don't tend to get my feelings hurt too bad because if somebody's saying something nasty about me, I usually don't know. 'Cause I haven't seen
That's
it.
what I love about social media, though.
Getting
is
nasty?
No, I don't like when people get nasty, but I like the educating yourself part of it.
Yeah.
I like to feel informed.
You are very informed for a teen.
Thank you.
I think you
appreciate
are.
that.
I think you are.
Yeah, I think I am too because I go out of my way to.
But
try
there's
to.
a difference, and this is what I think one of the things they're trying to figure out with Facebook in particular. There's a difference between credible sources and what people post.
Yes.
So, and that's where I personally feel like the divide has been because people will post something. I'm like, that's not even accurate. And all these people are chiming in and getting all hot and bothered and creating arguments about something that wasn't factually accurate in the first place. So it's kind of, that's where, where does the news end and social media begin? That's a
think-
hard line to draw.
Yeah, that's a hard line to draw, but I think they're very like much hand in hand. Like
Yeah.
the social media kind of just reiterates what the news says to certain levels.
Yep.
And obviously there's outliers as there is in everything, but
I don't watch the news. I research it. I research it online, but I don't like watch a news channel or anything like that.
nobody really watches a news channel.
I
It's
know.
2021.
That is true. It's true. Everything's streaming. I stream my stuff. So, all right. So, what would your advice be? Like, if you're thinking about, give me some advice to the parents first, actually, because I don't know that I worry about my older kids. I don't worry about you on social as much, or Bailey, because I feel like you are all right. So you guys that aren't watching the live, there is some thought in her head because her mouth just went, yeah. I don't think I worry about you guys because I don't feel like y'all aren't out there causing fights or arguments, or I don't feel like if somebody made a bad comment about you guys, I don't think you'd take it to heart. I really don't think it's going to change who you are as a person or how you feel about yourself or your self-worth. I really don't think it will. I worry about that with younger kids. I feel like the things that are said and brought up and the arguments people get in, it makes the younger kids that haven't, like we talked about in the last episode, that don't have, maybe their morals aren't set or they haven't had enough life experience. I think it makes them feel two things. One, I think it makes them feel that it is okay to belittle and attack people, and I think that's wrong. And secondly, I feel like they get too much of their self-worth from how they're perceived online, how many followers they have, how many likes they get, how many that. I don't see it as much with your age or college. Maybe not with you. Maybe it is with your age. I don't see it with you.
Not
But
with
that's
my
what I
age.
worry.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Well, that's what I worry about with the kids is your self-worth should not be based on how many people like your friggin' post.
Yeah, but it is.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all.
I was going to say, I don't think it affects you. Like, I could be
No.
wrong, but I think I know you pretty
I don't
well.
care that much.
I know.
Honestly.
So why do people care? I mean, because I worry about that. And I have seen, and you know stories, I've seen people's reputations, high school kids' reputations just completely bashed because of something somebody posted on social. And that's not right because half the time it's not accurate. And so,
Yeah.
but their self-worth is, I hate to see their self-worth tied up in a platform that other people control what's put there.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. But
I mean, how are you able to have it not affect you where other kids might be really counting the likes and counting the shares and counting all, because I know a lot of people do that.
because my stress exists in other areas. I can't dwell so much on social media when everything else is happening. That's some people, they get like, everybody gets caught up in something, and some people it's social media, and for me it's just not social media. I don't
Yeah.
really know why,
Yeah.
but like it just doesn't bother me that much.
So so it's, people are using it as an escape, but the
'Cause
escape is causing,
Social media
Stress.
came up pretty fast, and it's like it could easily like go away pretty fast. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It didn't take much. It took some programming
Yep.
to get it here.
Yep.
So I shouldn't waste all my time dealing with it. You know what I mean?
I think that's a good point because I actually thought about that. So a couple weeks ago, we had if you guys remember, we had the outage, social media outage, maybe 2 weeks ago that Facebook and Instagram shut down. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, my internet's out. I rebooted 50 times, all this. And then we finally started figuring out that the platform was down. And Mia got home from school and I said, oh, you didn't even know it was out.
No.
Had no clue.
No.
And like literally half the world shut down because, as a business owner, I'm sitting here going, oh, okay, well, I'm trying to get posts out for the business and I've got different programs and things I was promoting and couldn't do any of that. So I literally had kind of a day where a lot less on my
That's a
to-do
whole-
list.
that's a
You
whole
had
nother-
you had no idea.
That's
no
a whole
idea.
other realm.
But it did make me think.
It's everybody's surrounded by it.
Well, it did make me
Everybody's
think.
focused on
Right.
social media.
Right. But it made me think, what if is, like you just said a second ago, what if this
What if it
goes
all went away? What if it all went away tomorrow?
Yeah. So then we have to think, but it did get me start thinking about, when I did my planning retreat for next year, I did start thinking about, okay, how am I going to do business development? Because again, I use it for business. How am I going to do business development? That was one thing.
That's what
And
I
then
was
on the
gonna-
personal
that's the question I
side,
was going to pose.
I mean, I use it a lot for business development and for connecting with my audience and for, promoting the podcast and
Yeah.
promoting speaking and all the
Yeah.
stuff I do. It would be a big, I'd be having to we'd have to take your van, do a road show around the country.
Oh my gosh, it's like it's like a stand-up tour.
We'd have to do a stand-up. Mia's doing stand-up in one room and I'm, doing books and
Yeah.
consulting in the other. But it does, I love social media for the fact that I use it for business. I ignore the crappy negative stuff. And I've had people blast me, believe me, I get it. The funny part is when they blast me and somebody else comes to my defense. I think that's kind of cool. But I just don't engage in it. But if it were gone tomorrow, we're going to have to reshift how we do everything.
Yeah.
So I did start to think about, who I have so many connections online and I love hearing from everybody and I love people commenting on stuff. But at the end of the day, not a lot of them are people I talk to offline.
Yeah. My big thing about social media is, even though it's probably not going to go away because it's such a prevalent thing.
Well, it's a prevalent thing and it's a profit center. I
Yeah,
mean, listen,
and
the stock in
everybody
these companies
has
is huge.
formed around it,
Yep.
some way or another. But I just think about it like I want to be in a position with social media that if it went away tomorrow, I'd be fine.
I think that's a great thing. So
I like social media.
I think everybody should be
I think
in that
it's good.
position.
I think social media, I honestly think social media is a good thing.
I do too.
And I think
I just need some of y'all to quit being so mean.
I think the negative parts come from just like a few outliers.
Yep.
And
But that's what we get focused on though.
yeah.
Because somebody could write 50 million nice comments and that one negative is what's kind of gets stuck in our head a little bit.
It's a mindset thing. It's not.
Yeah. I tend to not dwell. My theory is, and I would recommend this to all you guys that are listening and that use social, which is pretty much everybody, is if you don't know the person personally, ignore it. Like if somebody's going to make a comment about that they think I'm ugly or they hated my speech or whatever they did or that my book sucked, that's fine. I'm cool. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Will it hurt my feelings? Yeah, but I'm not going to dwell on it. I would dwell on it if it were one of my closest friends. I always talk about grasp, grow, and group, how I kind of segment my people in my world. If it were one of my people in my inner circle, my grasp group or my grow group, then I would worry. But honestly, if it were one of them and they had something negative, they're not going to post it. They're going to call me. And that's where social media just gives you the opportunity to, like when you have a problem with me, you come to me. You don't post. I don't know. Maybe you do post it on. I don't. She's probably posting it on Snapchat because I'm not on there.
My private story.
Oh yes, I did learn about the private stories. Yes, you do post about me on your private stories and how mean of a mom I am.
No,
I know you don't. I'm teasing. Because your friends would come to my defense. They would. Hey, your friends all follow me on social. I follow them. We're buddies.
It's really cute.
It is cute. It is cute.
I'm glad you're friends with a bunch of 16-year-olds on
I
social media.
have a lot.
You heard it here,
friends.
folks. You heard it here first, folks.
You're
Kristen
great.
Andre
You have great
talks
friends.
to 16-year-olds.
They text me happy birthday. They do. You have good friends. You do. They're nice.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Because they're not going down the social media rabbit hole. They might. Some of them are.
Please.
All right, a couple of them are.
Yeah.
There are two that are. There's two that are, and one with a really big TikTok following, or a viral. Used to have had a viral TikTok video. But I try to stay involved and kind of know who the people are. But I think y'all also, that particular friend group, y'all aren't being mean to each other. You know your people. You're not online.
Oh, I was about to say,
Online.
What do you think friendship is nowadays? Mom's just roasting each other all day.
I don't think that's what it is.
It is.
That's what I think social media turned it into that.
No.
Your friends are you're supposed to tell your victories and your
Yeah, you can do that.
challenges.
But they also need to be the ones to put you back in your spot.
That's true. I have those people. My people like to
I'm
keep
one
me
of those
check. You are. I think you're like the president of the put me back in my spot club.
Thank
You do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're
Somebody needs
supposed
to do
to
it.
as my child.
Somebody needs to do it.
I think as my child you're supposed to be loving and supportive.
You raised me to be like this.
I did. It is my fault. I kind of said that. I said that to a friend of mine the other day. I said, my whole, my work and my business and everything I do is about empowering other people and helping them be strong and have these great lives and blah, 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 blah. And it kind of might have backfired with my 3 daughters. I should have waited till they were a little bit older because I teach everyone to stand up for what they believe in and speak their mind. And boy, do they.
It's backfired a little bit.
It is backfired a little bit. But I will say, now with that, y'all don't do it on social. Y'all don't roast me on social.
We don't roast you on social.
No, but I
We
think
don't
that
roast
because that's a
people.
respect. You don't roast people. Yeah.
We roast situations.
Situations are fine. Situations don't have feelings. People have feelings. And I think that's a big thing is I would be disappointed if you guys, and I would give feedback if you guys were roasting
You
people.
wouldn't respond to my story with a heart.
I would not
Or heart
respond to your
emoji.
story with a heart emoji if you were roasting a person. Situations, I'm totally fine with roasting. It's when, it's the personal attacks on people that I feel has gotten out of hand with social.
I could see that.
Definitely out of hand with social.
Yeah.
So, all right. So as we wrap, Miss Mia Andre,
Miss Kristen Andre.
or AKA Mom, but you can call me Kristen. You really can't. I'm teasing.
We're in a professional setting.
So you're allowed to call me Kristen.
Yes.
Feels awkward, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So as we're wrapping, Miss Mia Andre, what would because you're going to speak for the youth today, which I know is not your thing. I don't know.
I don't want to misspeak for the youths.
You're wearing your John Mulaney shirt today.
Yeah. John Mulaney is big with the youths.
He is big with the youth, and he's got a big social media following. Doesn't he have a big decent social
He's
media
not
following?
really, I mean,
He doesn't post a lot, but he's got a lot of people following.
he's big on the platforms.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily mean he is big on
is the
platforms.
one doing them. Oh, I get that. That's true because he does have a good following, but that
Yes.
doesn't necessarily mean anything
Yeah.
because you saw him right after he got out of rehab. So
Yeah.
he's obviously
And
had some challenges.
He was on point too. He was
Good.
like awesome. So anyway,
It was a good. I know
Yeah,
they had
okay.
he did a comedy tour show. I don't know, comedy tour, a tour a stand-up tour that came through Atlanta that Mia got to go to, which
John
was
Mulaney from scratch.
it was awesome. Anyway,
So
all right. So with your recommendation to everybody, not just the youth, but the youth and the adults. Start with the adults. What do we need to do when it comes to
Kristen,
social?
We need to stop attacking people and more looking at the broader situation of things.
Okay.
And not dwelling on a minute thing, of a person.
Avoid the personal attacks.
Yeah, because that's just mean.
Yep.
Can we all just be friends?
I think we should all be friends. I think we need to hug it out and all be friends. Maybe not hug it with all people, but but all be friends.
Yeah.
If you
Let's all
can't,
be
it's
friends.
kind of that golden rule. If you can't say
Peace and
something
love to
nice,
everybody.
peace and love to everybody.
Yeah.
Peace. Yeah. But if you can't be nice, don't say it. Or
Yeah.
take it offline. Because it just kind of adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself. But social media also is very good for connection. If you want to connect to people from different walks of life and everywhere around the world.
I feel like I've connected with a lot of, that's one thing I love about it, because I've reconnected with friends from high school and college and people that I probably would have never seen again because geographically we don't live near each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to
And
connect
you keep up with
people.
the happenings.
You do. You know who has babies, who has grandbabies, who has all the things. So if we could start to use social for what it was intended for, it's not called debate media, it's called social media. If we could use it to be social and to connect with people and to help and support one another, which also includes people's businesses, I think that's the real intent of
And
it.
bring
I would
light
just encourage
to things, not
bring light to issues that need
That's
light
what I
brought
was
to
looking
them,
for.
but in a kind and constructive way.
Yes.
I'll listen to a debate all day long until you start attacking the person or the I'm good until you start going, well, you're an idiot because you think this. Feelings are non-negotiable. People may not agree with you. I mean, my friends, and we don't get into politics on the show, that's my own choice, but my friends are very divided, very divided. My family is very divided, but we have a healthy respect for one another. We may not always agree, but we're not attacking each other on social. So I think that's kind of the thing to remember. What would you tell your friends, not your specific friends, but people that are in high school and college and the ones that are spending a lot of time and building their self-worth off of what people do and say online?
Try to stop the comparison between you and other people. That I think that going off social media to base somebody's own self-worth is just it sucks, because that you shouldn't have to do that. And
You can't win. It's a game you can't win.
And there's substance beyond social media. And I don't think that comparing oneself to another person is really going to showcase that. So I think people need to try their hardest not to do that.
Avoid the comparison game.
Yes.
And seek some substance outside of just social media. I like it. Wise words, Miss Andre, as we
Whatever.
wrap. Thank you so much for being here with us again. We'll, of
No
course,
problem.
have Mia back at some point in the future because, being my child, she's contractually obligated to be here on occasion. So
Yes.
thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you very much, Mia, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You are quite welcome. Until next week, make it a great one, and we will see you very soon.